We are knitting the pattern, a mesh in the round, with the pattern repeat consisting of 3 stitches. Next, let's look at a detailed explanation and start knitting the mesh pattern in the round. We need the number of stitches to be a multiple of 3. Slip the first stitch, knit the second stitch, knit the next one, then pass these 2 stitches over. Just like we meticulously perform a yarn over in flat knitting, we then carefully slip a stitch from the left needle to the right needle without knitting it. Following this, we knit 2 stitches together as one, and then gently pass them through the stitch we previously slipped again, creating a neat and secure bind-off. Subsequently, we execute another yarn over and then knit 1 stitch. We then proceed to slip a stitch once more, turn our work, and then knit, knit, continuing the pattern with precision and attention to detail. This is the first row of our knitting project. We begin by performing a yarn over, then carefully slip a single stitch from the left needle to the right needle. Next we knit the following stitch, and then we knit another stitch, after which we will pass our initial slip stitches through the 2 knitted stitches, just like this, and then we will repeat the process by performing another yarn over, and we continue like this until the end of our round. Finish knitting on your own. Let me show you again. Yarn over, slip a stitch, knit with knit stitches, pass through everywhere, just like this, make a yarn over. Repeat everything until the end of our round, and I'll see you at the end of the row. This is how my finished piece ultimately turned out, and for the very last stitch, I meticulously finish with a yarn over, then carefully slip the next stitch, knit the following 2 stitches together, pass the slipped stitch over the newly knitted stitch, make another yarn over, and finally, transfer the stitch to the other needle. Here's our marker, and for the next second row, all our stitches are knit stitches, including the yarn overs. We knit like this with knit stitches without tightening anything, very gently, so that everything slides easily. You are knitting the second row. Just like that, we separate these stitches that we slipped and knit the second row. I'll see you at the end of the second row. We finish knitting our second row to the end. All stitches are knit stitches, and here you need to understand. Now, let me remove the sample. The next yarn over needs to be made between these stitches and these ones, so that we get this kind of step pattern. So, what do? We'll leave a marker here, so that at the end of the row I can show you so you don't get confused. Slip the stitch without knitting it. Here we make a yarn over. And then we continue doing everything the same way. Slip the stitch without knitting it. Knit, knit. Pass it over. Like this, see? Our pattern is already starting to show. Yarn over because it needs to be between these 2. Slip the stitch, then knit the next stitch, and then we continue knitting in the same manner as in the first row. Just be very careful not to get off track or make any mistakes. Next, make a yarn over, slip the stitch, knit the next stitch, and then knit the following stitch. We will keep knitting in this precise way until we reach the very end of our current row. Knit in such a careful and deliberate way that our intricate pattern comes out perfectly. Finally, yarn over, slip the stitch, knit the next stitch, and then knit the following stitch. Yarn over, slip, knit, knit, knit loosely without tightening so that the pattern is airy and loose. We continue like this until the end of the row, and we'll meet at the end of the row. And here I'll help you with what to do to make sure everything looks nice here. I knit like this until the end of the row. This is our third row, and now I'm finishing my third row. I knit 2, then slip 1. Knit stitch. And next, as you can see, remember our marker, the knit stitch we slipped. We slip this one. We knit this stitch, remove the marker, and knit this stitch as well. Then pass one stitch over the other. And for now, hang a marker here, just so you don't get confused, because we'll be making the same changes in the others. And you see your pattern has come out in sequence. Everything repeats. There are no steps or jogs when going in the round. Everything continues smoothly. Fourth row. We are knitting in the round, and basically we will be repeating the rows. However, I will come back to you and show you precisely how to make the step in the very next row. That is, you absolutely need to understand that in each and every row the yarn over is made between the knit stitches. These stitches, where you have this kind of ridge, and between these stitches there is always a yarn over. So, these stitches we knit together. This one, slip 2 knitwise, like this, well not together. So, you understand, we make this transition, that is, a yarn over between every 3 stitches, and the next round all stitches are knit, all stitches are knit, and you continue knitting like this until the end of our row. And at the end of the row, we'll meet again. And I'll show you again how to start our round so that it turns out nicely like this and you don't have a visible transition. Right here, in this spot, this is the most important part when working in the round. The pattern is knitted in flat rows, but we are knitting the pattern with a step, a single step, and then we turn all the stitches to purl. And then, in the same way, we need to start our first and third rows differently, and then repeat. So when knitting in the round, we do everything the same way. Only the even and odd rows. So for the odd rows, we knit according to the pattern, and for the even rows, like the 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 8th, I knit all the stitches as knit stitches. I knit all the stitches as knit stitches. And in every odd row, you work a yarn over 2 knit stitches, or rather slip 1, knit 2, and then pass the slipped stitch over. As I'm showing, so we knit to the end, and I'll show you once again how to start. And basically our pattern is knitted the same way as with flat rows, just like in the round. Here I am finishing my 4th row. All stitches are knit stitches. We knit the yarn over. All stitches are worked as knit stitches. And now we see we use a marker so we don't get confused, and we see that here we need to make a yarn over. So these 2 stitches, we need to knit them, and this one here should have been slipped. But since it's already worked according to the pattern, we can just slip it like this so we don't get confused here. Here's the marker. We remember that we've already moved this stitch back and forth. It doesn't need anything else. It just needs to be knitted like this, and then we continue doing everything the same way. We knit 2 stitches and then slip this knitted one over here. Oops, see? And everything is following our pattern. And then we just keep going the same way. First, we will make a yarn over, then carefully make this stitch, gently slip it, and finally knit 2 stitches together. We can see that the yarn over is exactly in the right place. And we slip them all around, nothing changes. It's important for us to make sure everything looks neat here at the transition, and then we keep dividing everything the same way and meet up again. At the end of the row, I'll show you how I finish, although it should be clear here. I finish with a yarn over, and then I can show you one more row, the final one I did. Well, girls, those who aren't beginners have already figured out how to do this. You just need to slip this stitch a little and shape it so there's no step, so it looks smooth, you see. Here, you can't see anything at all, as if everything follows the pattern. We're knitting, and that's what I love. When everything is perfect, as you may have noticed, it goes like this. Yarn over, slip the stitch. Knit, knit. Just like this, you will carefully lift the stitch and then knit, knit. Everything is worked in the round, this entire row, all the way around. We'll meet at the end of the row, make a yarn over, and meet again at the end of the row. This is indeed our current odd row, where I am diligently working on the intricate pattern. We meticulously finish our entire row, then carefully slip, knit, and knit again. And please remember that at this specific point, we truly need to make a yarn over, slip everything, and then all our stitches are knit again. Now I'll knit a little further. And these are already the last ones I'm showing this, because by now everything should be clear to you. If it's not clear, rewind to the beginning of the video and start again. Look and see, when we finish knitting right here, it will be just like when we started. This row will be the same, a yarn over and our knit stitch, and we remember how we did it here, right? That's what we need. Here we'll make a yarn over, so we slip the first stitch, make a yarn over, then knit this one, slip 2 knit stitches, yarn over, and we do it the same way as we did before. Well, I'll just show you this last little detail and that's it. You understand that we keep repeating exactly what I showed earlier. And we get a pattern. It's interesting, simple, and looks great in the round. But so that there are no steps here, and even when you remove the marker, after you do it the way I showed, you won't be able to tell where it was here. Here's our transition. You can only tell by this little cord here. So now I'm showing you again, turning back, and that's it. This is the last time I'm recording this for you. I finished the last row, all stitches are knit, yarn over knit. And we turn back just as we have consistently done before. We carefully slip this one stitch, then we slip it without knitting it, then we transfer it to the other needle, then we make a yarn over, and finally we slip the next stitch. And everything is just as we did before, following the exact same steps. Like this, then we finish knitting our pattern. You see how nice everything looks here. When we knit the yarn over here, slip this one, move this one over here, 2 stitches, and we've already made the yarn over. So when we knit in the next row, remember that we'll need to slip it again, and that's it. And now we are going to finish our knitting project. I've successfully finished this entire row, which included 2 yarn overs, a slip stitch, a knit stitch, and the one we slipped, we do not knit. Just like that, it's done. And we pull them through right here. That's it. You see how everything follows the pattern? Slip the stitch, and then all the stitches are knit stitches. That's it. That's where we stop. Our masterclass on knitting mesh in the round and with turning rows is finished. Take a look right here. This is where our step is, and there's no step. So that's the beauty of it. Use this technique and don't forget to give me a like. Be sure to... Thank you.